Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Oh my goodness, we had the audio off the whole time for the whole first inning, and I do apologize for that. Wow. Alright, so just to recap, Aiden Julich on the hill for Cashtown, and he works around 2 base runners in the first inning. Here's a fly out, a 3-up, 3-down inning for New Oxford pitcher Hunter Gillen. At the end of 1 inning, it's 0-0 here on South Penn Thursday Night Baseball. Here at Fleaflicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle! We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home! Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied!
Fleaflicker Media is proud to partner with the Franklin County Tigers football team this spring to bring you all of their home games. If you'd like to be featured on Fleaflicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Fleaflicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page. We apologize for our early struggles with audio here, folks. We had the audio muted unwittingly for almost the entire first inning, so we'll take you through the defensive alignment here for Cashtown. Ethan Ketterman is over at first base. At second base, well, that'll be Wyatt Sokol. The shortstop for the Pirates is Brock Carpenter. And at third base, Zach Coons. The outfield from left to right for the Pirates looks like Dylan Ed out there, and Cameron Bailey out there on left. In center is Chase King. And over in right field for the Pirates, Josh Topper. Behind the plate is Dylan Ed. And he's catching Aiden Julich, who's in his 3rd year in the South Penn League, the former New Oxford Twin. It's his third appearance of the year. He leads Cashtown with 2 appearances, as he'll deal with the number 6 hitter in the order, Cody Furman, a former Cashtown Pirate. So it's a former Twin versus a former Cashtown Pirate here, playing on opposite sides. And it's no balls and 1 strike, the count. Julich bringing this one across, a chopper down the third baseline. That one's going to be fielded. The throw across to first is a little high, but getting his foot back on the bag is Ethan Ketterman. As just getting that one over there in time was Zach Coons. Ketterman stealing that out with his foot back on the bag. So for Julich, it's a chance to face his old team, the team that he played for as a rookie back in 2020. And he's spent the last 2 years now with Cashtown, winning a championship with the Pirates last year. So he delivers that one, ball 1 to A.J. Bullock for New Oxford. These 2 guys reached in the first inning, a hit leading off the game for Miles Shearer for New Oxford, and Cody Valentine with a 2-out walk. But Julich was able to retire Matt Martin to get out of the threat in the first inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Bullock. He chops this one on the ground to second. Up with it and throwing across to first. For the out is Wyatt Sokol, and quickly 2 down here in the second inning, as this is shaping up to be a pitcher's duel here today. And Julich really holding his own here the first time through the New Oxford order. He has a 1.31 earned run average this season, does Julich. 2 appearances, 1 start, 1 win, and 1 loss. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 Ks. He's walked 6. His whip is at 2.25, so he'll want to bring that down a little bit, but he's done a good job of run prevention here in the early going. Cameron Masignac, the left fielder, is the batter now for New Oxford. Here's the pitch to Masignac. That one fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes, the count. To Masignac. Masignac looking for his first hit on the season. He's 0 for 8. Does have a run batted in on the year and 1 run scored as well. His on-base percentage is .111. The 0-2 pitch coming up to the number 8 batter in the New Oxford order. The kick, the throw from Julich. That one bounces in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes now, the count. We'll go over the lineups again for this ball game, perhaps, as well, you guys have already seen the lineups. We just didn't have any audio going on when the lineups were going up. Julich with the 1-2 pitch, just misses inside. A pretty good spot from him there. We'll see if that sets up something on the outside corner here now for Cashtown's young hurler. Again, these are two storied South Penn League franchises. Both of them going through a time where they're having to play some younger players here early on. As that one misses high. Full count now. Jordan Arnold, the manager for New Oxford, said before the game that all but two of the guys in their lineup on Sunday were high school guys and a couple of college players as well. And that was by choice, as they want to give the younger guys a chance to play here and build the future of the New Oxford Twins. They still have some good veteran players on this team as well. They can help out. There's ball 4 to Masignac as he goes from 0-2 to a walk. Way to grind one out for him there. Second walk of the game now for Julich. And that'll at least turn the lineup over here, barring some kind of weird out on the bases, as Andrew Worthen, the center fielder, will bat. Worthen is 2 for 16, 125 on the year. Like Masignac, he has 1 RBI and 1 run scored on the campaign. Swing and a miss as he's well behind and underneath that heater. No balls and 1 strike. As the Twins trying to get some support for their starting pitcher, Hunter Gillen, here. As looking at these two guys on the hill, these two guys could be battling in the South Penn League against each other in pitchers' duels for a long time. And that one misses, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. New Oxford comes in with a record of 2-5. They won their last game against Brushtown. Cashtown 3-3. They're on a 3-game losing streak. This one popped up in the air. Ranging over for it is Ketterman. He'll give it a look, but it's going to go out of play. And it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes now to New Oxford center fielder Worthen. Pleasant evening here at the ballpark. A slight breeze blowing through that's keeping things kind of beach-like here. Not too hot, not too cold. Julich looking for the punch out and misses high with that one, and it's 2-2. He was 1 strike away from getting out of the inning with Masignac. Now he's 1 strike away from getting out of it with Worthen. Doesn't want to turn the lineup over here for Shearer, who got a real good look at him the first time. This one misses high, 3-2, and struggling to put guys away here in the top of the 2nd inning just a little bit. So the runner will be in motion here on the payoff pitch as Julich comes set to the belt. There goes Masignac. Here's the pitch. Letter high, ball 4, and back-to-back 2-out walks for the Twins have turned the lineup over here now. As moving up to second base will be Masignac. He's in scoring position for the top of the New Oxford order. And there you see Worthen earning his 2-out walk out of the number 9 spot. All you can ask for out of your bottom 2 hitters in the order: grind and get on base any way they can. And they've done that here for Shearer. Shearer spanked a single to right field his first time up, and nobody saw that one because we weren't recording quite at that point in time. The intro was still going on. That one misses high, 1 ball and no strikes as a thumping line drive just out of the reach of the second baseman to the opposite field. A good job staying in there. Shearer on the year, 5 for 18 now with his first inning single. That one a called strike. That's what it looks like from Julich, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. One run batted in and 3 runs scored for Shearer here early on in the season. As he swings and misses at that one, and 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. And Julich would love to get out the guy who rudely greeted him to start this game to end the 2nd inning here. Shearer, the shortstop for New Oxford today. Well, as a long lineage of great shortstops for the Twins, as that one's in the dirt and he holds off it. 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count. Okay, we'll have Thursday night baseball for you next week. We'll have these very same Cashtown Pirates as they travel to Littlestown to face the Dodgers. at 6 p.m. and next Thursday. Our first game in June. That one called a ball outside. And the count now full again to the third straight hitter here. Ahead in the count was Julich to each of the last 3 hitters. Looks to make the third time the charm here. 2 outs. 2 on. The runners will be in motion. Gillen from second and Worthen from first. Masiniak from second. Here's the kick, the throw. This one tipped foul. And we'll do it again. Another payoff pitch coming here in this climactic top of the second inning. We'll have some out-of-town scores for you on the Battlefield Military Museum out-of-town scoreboard when we get a chance. We'll take you to a live look around the league. 4 other games in action, just 1 team off tonight. Here's the kick and the throw from Julich. This one popped up to the right side. That one's falling fast, but Josh Topper's going to run onto it and make the catch. No damage done from the 2-out walks except to the pitch count. At the end of 1.5, it's Cashtown 0 and New Oxford 0 here on Fleaflicker Media.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Welcome back to Cashtown Yards. I'd like to give a shout out to Brian Hammond tuning in here on the broadcast. We gave him a shout out earlier on in the ball game, but we had no audio going on. We've got to look at the New Oxford defense here as we check things out for the bottom of the second. Over at first base for the Twins is Derek Huff. At second base, Matt Martin. The shortstop for the Twins, well, that'll be Miles Shearer. At third base for New Oxford, that's Cody Valentine. The outfield from left to right, Cameron Masiniak in left, Andrew Worthen in center, and over in right field is A.J. Bullock. Behind the dish today, that's Cody Furman, the former Cashtown Pirate. Didn't get a lot of playing time when he was here in Cashtown, but starting now for the New Oxford Twins. And on the hill is Hunter Gillen, the Gettysburg High School baseball player, making his 3rd appearance of the year for the Twins. He'll face Ethan Ketterman to start the bottom of the second, and throws a breaking ball and gets him to swing way out in front of him. That was a nice pitch. So for Gillen, 2 appearances, both in relief. He's 0-1 on the season and 5 innings pitched. His ERA is at an unsightly 7 coming into today, but that first inning is any indication we're in for an improved performance from him here today. 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 Ks, and 6 walks this season. That one called a strike on the inside corner, and Ketterman with a glance back as he didn't particularly seem to like that call. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. The kick, the throw, and that one bounces up to the plate. The good old 2-strike waste pitch. Gillen hasn't struck anyone out yet, but that's just fine by him. He set the Pirates down in order in the first inning. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one misses. Probably just a little bit outside. The count runs full now, as we've seen a bunch of full counts here now from Cashtown, and now Gillen will have to deal with one here. The kick, the throw, the payoff pitch. This one spun down the first base line. What a play by Hunter Gillen, sticking with that when he stabbed at it, missed it, and then ran over to got it, threw it to first in time to get the hustling Ethan Ketterman. Ball had a lot of English on it, and usually when it gets past the pitcher the first time, that's your only shot, but he gives himself another chance to get onto that one and makes the off-balance throw. So Gillen definitely in rare form here today. Dylan Ed, the catcher for Cashtown. He'll switch places with Ketterman in the box here now. That one called a ball. Ed, the breakout star of the South Penn Championship Series last season, had a good one, including a walk-off hit in game number 2, the huge Cashtown victory. He's searching for his first hit of the season. He's just 0 for 4 coming in limited time. 2 balls and no strikes to Cashtown's catcher. That one misses high. 3 balls and no strikes from Gillen. On deck for Cashtown, Zach Coons. He hopes to have a guy on base when he strides into the batter's box here. That one called a strike, belt high, clipping the inside corner. And the count now 3-1. When he looked at the first one, now on 3-1, you figure he's going to get something really good to hit. Looks that one over too, and the count now full. Gillen, the stretch, the wind, the throw, swing and a miss as he blows that away. His first strikeout of the ball game. And 2 down here. 5 up, 5 down for Gillen to start the ball game. Zach Coons starting to the box now, the former Fairfield football quarterback, as he'll stand in the box. Coons off to a scorching start. 3-13 on the year, 5 for 16. As he gets a look at that first pitch strike from Gillen. Coons has 1 run and 3 walks this season. All 5 of his hits are singles. But that's just fine with him. Here's the pitch. Check swing, but called a strike. In the lower reaches of the zone, no balls and 2 strikes now the count. And Gillen 1 strike away from having a nice and tidy, quick second inning after having a nice and tidy, quick first inning. The wind and the throw. This one is sent skyward. Martin chasing it. That's going to be caught. Martin on the run with a Willie Mays-style catch, laying out for it in the Bermuda Triangle. What a play to end the second inning. 0-0, New Oxford and Cashtown as we head to the third here on Fleaflicker Media. Here at Fleaflicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
Fleaflicker Media is proud to partner with the Franklin County Tigers football team this spring to bring you all of their home games. If you'd like to be featured on Fleaflicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Fleaflicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page. So as we get ready for the start of the third inning, we'll take one more look at the lineups for these two teams since we had a little bit of a failure the first time we tried to go over them. So here it is, the New Oxford and Cashtown batting lineups. You've already seen all these guys in action if you've been paying attention. For New Oxford, Miles Shearer, the shortstop, bats leadoff. Hunter Gillen, the pitcher, bats second, and he'll lead off this third inning. Derek Huff, the first baseman, batting third. Cody Valentine, the third baseman, bats cleanup. Matt Martin, the second baseman, batting fifth. Cody Furman, the former Cashtown Pirate, batting sixth and catching today. AJ Bullock, the right fielder. Cameron Massignac, the left fielder, and Andrew Warden, the center fielder, round out New Oxford's lineup. For Cashtown, you've seen Wyatt Sokol, his first trip atop the batting order here for Cashtown this year, playing second base. Chase King, the center fielder. Cameron Bailey playing in left and batting third. Ethan Ketterman, the first baseman, batting cleanup. Dylan Ed, the catcher. Zach Coons, the third baseman. Brock Carpenter, the shortstop. Josh Topper, the right fielder, and Aiden Julich, the pitcher, rounding out the Cashtown order as we're about ready to go. Here in the top of the third inning between New Oxford and Cashtown. Here's the first pitch, that one down low to Hunter Gillen as the two counterparts on the mound are facing each other here. That one's a swing and a miss from Gillen. Here's the pitch. Oh, it misses down low. 2 balls and 1 strike now to New Oxford's pitcher from Cashtown's pitcher, Julich. Gillen with a bat in his hand this year has been 6 for 21, one of New Oxford's better hitters to start the season, as that one misses, and the count now 3-1. Gillen 6 for 21, that's a .286 batting average, a pair of doubles included in that, and 3 runs batted in. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Aiden Julich to Gillen. Thumps this one to the right side. That one's going to be caught over there by the second baseman Sokol for out number 1 here in the 3rd inning. Wyatt Sokol with a nice job. He was aligned perfectly, but you still got to get the glove up there and catch it before it hits you in the face. And he did. Apologize for that music that's been playing in the background, as that was our bumper music for the lineups, and that got stuck on the on position there for a little bit, so we apologize for that. Derek Huff, the batter now, and the pitch misses. 1 ball and no strikes to Huff. Huff flew out to center field to begin the ball game. Swings and misses it. Something off speed. First baseman for New Oxford. Huff came in hitting .357 with 5 hits and 14 trips on the year. A double included in that. As the twist and the throw from Julich. Called a strike at the knees, and that moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes here now. Huff, whose season ended last year with an ejection in New Oxford's final playoff game against Hagerstown. Back here for another year as he grounds this one to second. Sokol's got it. Throws on to Ketterman at first. 4-3 on the putout, and 2 up, 2 down here in the 3rd. Is this one just rolling along swimmingly here. Got off to a little bit of a late start. About 5 minutes or so after the 6 o'clock scheduled start time, but here we are. About a half hour into this one. Already almost halfway through the 3rd inning. Cody Valentine, who walked his first time up, is now the batter for New Oxford. Pitch misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, you got friends that aren't watching this game? Call them up, tell them. Cashtown, New Oxford, locked in a pitcher's duel here. 2 of the great South Penn League franchises, and it's live on Fleaflicker Media. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cody Valentine. You're going to want to grab some popcorn and a nice cold beverage, kick your feet back, and settle in for the next hour plus of this one. Between 2 teams trying to find their way in this early season slog of the South Penn League schedule. That pitch misses, and it's 2-1 here to Cody Valentine. Valentine's hitting .267 on the year, 4 hits and 15 appearances. Has a double on his line score. This New Oxford team slugging a bit here in the early going. Batting average as a team for New Oxford is .235, but a number of extra base hits sprinkled in. They've scored just 18 runs through 7 games. But the pitching has been really good for them. The 3-1 pitch coming to Cody Valentine, a 3rd baseman for New Oxford, and that one misses down low. Look like he took something off of that one and it misses. 4th walk of the game for New Oxford hitters. And we'll see if they can churn something out here in a 2-out rally. Been unable to do it in the first 2 innings. This is the 4th base runner that's reached base in the game for New Oxford with 2 outs in an inning. And that paves the way for Matt Martin, who ended the 1st with an out of his own. This one tipped foul back to the screen, and the count 0-1 to Martin. Martin's been a long-time member of New Oxford, one of the holdovers from about a half-decade ago for New Oxford. A lot of the veteran players not still with the Twins, but some of the staples still here, like Jordan Arnold. Daniel Schaefer, still a member of this team for New Oxford, although we won't see him here today. No balls and 2 strikes now, the count to Martin. 2 outs. We'll see if they Put Valentine in motion here. He's staying put. Teases the zone low and outside and taken by Martin, showing a good batting eye with 2 strikes. So glad you're along for the ride with us on South Penn Thursday Night Baseball. We'll be here with you all season long with a Thursday game every week. Interesting matchup here today. The kick and the toss from Julich, foul tip into the glove, and that puts an end to the top of the third. The Cashtown Pirates will come to bat, looking to break the seal on this one, as we head bottom side here on Fleaflicker Media.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Back here at the ballpark, it's 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the third inning between Cashtown and New Oxford. These are 2 of the last 4 South Penn League franchises to win a title. Cashtown's won 5 of them in 6 years. You have to go back to the 2016 season for New Oxford's last title. Hunter Gillen on the hill for the Twins here today. It's 2 strikes now to Brock Carpenter, the batter. Number 7 hitter in the order for Cashtown. Quick look at the Battlefield Military Museum out-of-town scoreboard from Biglerville. In the bottom of the third inning, the Biglerville Black Sox are leading the North Carroll Panthers 2-1 at Oakside Community Park. Here's the kick. That one bounces in the dirt and goes up over the catcher. Nobody on base, so no harm done there. So it'll be Carpenter, then Josh Topper, and Aiden Julich rounding out the Cashtown order. Bottom third here to face Hunter Gillen in the third. This one chopped weakly to the right side, just past the pitcher's mound. Up with it and throwing on to first is the second baseman, Martin. And 7 in a row retired by Hunter Gillen to begin this ball game. Josh Topper will try to break the rhythm here for him. He's known more for his work on the pitcher's mound here in the South Penn League than he is with the bat. This will be his first plate appearance of the year for number 00, the winning pitcher in the 2020 South Penn League championship clinching game. That one called a strike. Topper was then the pitcher of record in Cashtown's loss in the semifinals in Game 5 against Hagerstown the next year. As that one misses, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike now to Topper. Topper, whose 7-inning complete game 1-hit shutout against Hagerstown brought Cashtown their 4th consecutive title during the COVID-shortened 2020 season in the double elimination playoff bracket. Backs off from that one, and his eye was right as the count is 2-1. Topper playing right field today. The Cashtown Pirates weren't sure how they were going to fill the right field position. He was a last-minute addition to this lineup. Swing and a miss, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes now, as we play here in the bottom of the third between New Oxford and Cashtown. 2-2 pitch coming from Gillen. It bounces in the dirt, and it's 3-2. I believe that's just the second full count that Cashtown has worked against Gillen here. First time through the order. Chase King, I think, worked a full count. Line the other way on the ground. That one's through, and there goes the perfect game and the no-hitter all at once. Shutout still intact for Gillen. But Topper with a hard ground ball through the right side. And Cashtown has their first base runner. Aiden Julich, the pitcher, will try to move him along here. Julich is 2 for 5 on the season. He's also walked twice. That one misses high. 1 ball and no strikes to Cashtown's pitcher. 2 pitchers will face off against each other here again. This time with Gillen on the mound. That one a called strike. It was Julich getting the best of Gillen twice in this ball game already on the mound. A ground ball to second base and a line drive out to second base. Gillen looking for a modicum of revenge here and to get the second out here in the third inning before Cashtown heads to the top of the order again. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Aiden Julich. Played with the New Oxford Twins 3 years ago. Was talking to him in the dugout before the game, and he said there's probably only about 3 or 4 guys from New Oxford, at least the ones that are here today, that were teammates of his at that time. 3-1 now the count. Gotta be looking for something real pretty here from Gillen. Here's the kick and the toss, and this one fouled off. He was late on that one and spoils it over into the line of trees behind the visitors' dugout here at Cashtown Yards. So the payoff pitch once again with Josh Topper taking his lead from first. Gillen comes to the belt. There goes Topper. The pitch is a strike 3 throw down to second, and safe is Topper. A strong one-hop throw from the catcher, Cody Furman, against his former ball club, but just a little bit late as Topper was off on first movement from Gillen there. And as the dust settles on that one, there'll be 2 outs, but Cashtown will have a runner in scoring position here for the top of the order. Wyatt Sokol's the batter. He was robbed by Derek Huff on a hard ground ball down the line in the first inning. Hit means a run here for Cashtown. As Gillen with the kick, the pitch. That one misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes to Sokol. As we said earlier on, Sokol's first at-bat of this ballgame was his first at-bat of the season. Topper the lead from second. Here's the kick, the throw. Backs him off the plate, but called a strike on the inside corner. Didn't give him the outside corner, so if you don't give him one corner, you usually give him the other one if they try to go there. And the count 1-1. Cashtown Pirates looking to break through here in the bottom of the third. It's been all pitching so far, and it'll continue to be all pitching with execution like that from Hunter Gillen on the mound. Had Sokol completely fooled and gets him to 2 strikes here now. Again, to all of you tuning in here, we'll be in Littlestown next Thursday night as these Cashtown Pirates travel to take on the Dodgers. We just put a whooping on the Pirates in a 2-game doubleheader on Sunday. 3-0 and 9-0 victories for the Dodgers here in Cashtown. In this game, next Thursday night will be Cashtown's return visit to Littlestown as they look to seek out a little bit of retribution. 2 strikes and 2 outs. Runner at second base is Josh Topper. Gillen's kick and the throw. This one popped up. That's going to leave the playing surface. Hits on top of the Cashtown dugout over here just to our left. One and 2 now the count here to Sokol, and Gillen is going to deliver another one here as Sokol spoiling a couple of 2-strike pitches. That one in the dirt. It gets away from the catcher. That's Furman as it goes to the backstop, and it will most likely be a wild pitch. Moving up to third is Josh Topper. We guarantee you he's behind that telephone pole, you just can't really see him. So some speed at third for Cashtown. There's several ways that he can score from third with 2 outs, but he can't score from third with 1 out. Or, can't score from second with 2 outs, excuse me. The 2-2 offering. Gillen with the throw, that one misses down low, and the count runs full. Well, you got left on right here with Sokol. So he doesn't necessarily have to come to him, but you got the more inexperienced hitter at the plate right now with the veteran King on deck, and he probably wants to get this out right here.
Don't let him in.
Sokol out in front, chops that one off the dugout screen. It's Cashtown manager Eric Ketterman throwing a new ball into his former catcher Cody Furman. Here's the kick, the toss. That one misses down low, and it's ball 4. There'll be men on the corners for Cashtown with Chase King striding to the box. Sokol showing a discerning batting eye, fouled off pitch after pitch with 2 strikes until he could draw his walk. And now we've got a meeting on the mound here for the New Oxford Twins. I believe that's Austin Roth heading out to the hill, number 5, to have a conference with the infield and the battery here for New Oxford, ahead of a key batter in this ball game. King, his first time up, grounded out to second base. One of a number of weak opposite field ground balls that Gillen has induced here to start this ball game. But you know the veteran King has been waiting and watching in the dugout in the on-deck circle, studying this pitcher and waiting for his next opportunity that comes here in a huge spot. A loss here for Cashtown would put them in an unfamiliar spot. They'd have a 3-4 record. It would be a losing record for them for the first time in probably a while. Last time it did happen, it was probably early in the season, like a 1-2 or an 0-1. This one would be 3-4 as they're battling through a spate of injuries. Chase King at the plate, and he takes a strike around the knees. And Gillen's had the big pitches when he's needed them today. No bigger situation than this one for Gillen so far on this afternoon/evening. Bounces in the dirt, smothered by Furman. Using that stocky linebacker frame to get in front of that one and keep any advancement from either runner. Sokol the lead from first. Topper is over at third, 90 feet away. The 1-1 pitch misses in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike now. Hagerstown and the Frederick Flying Dogs are also playing today in what should be a fantastic matchup. We'll see if we can get you a score from that game in between innings here. The kick and the toss from Gillen, and King rotating the hips and the bat through there way early, just able to foul that one off into the screen, and the count even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Littlestown Dodgers at 9-1 after their doubleheader sweep of Cashtown over the weekend. Cashtown trying to keep a little bit of pace. A ground ball to the right side. It's weakly hit. Martin there fields it, throws it on to first to catch the running King. And the threat is averted for Gillen and the New Oxford Twins. At the end of 3 here on Fleaflicker Media, it's New Oxford 0 and Cashtown 0. We'll be back in a moment with more live baseball.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Back to Cashtown Yards as we prepare for the top of the fourth inning. We have a couple of out-of-town scores for you. The Biglerville Black Sox have extended their lead over the North Carroll Panthers to 5-1 as the Panthers bat in the top of the fourth inning. And from Frederick, the Hagerstown Braves have a 2-0 lead on the Frederick Flying Dogs in the second inning of that one. So back to work here is Aiden Julich, as he'll deal with the 6-hitter in the New Oxford order, Cody Furman, and he floats this one to the left side. That's down for a single in his return to Cashtown, and that's got to feel good for him right there. Leading things off for New Oxford in the fourth inning. They'll keep things moving for the number 7 hitter for New Oxford now. That's A.J. Bullock, who grounded out to second his first time up. Here's the toss from Julich. That one bounces in the dirt and is smothered by Dylan Ed to keep his counterpart from moving up a base. Still 0-0 here in the fourth inning. It seems like the last couple times we've been here to Cashtown, we've gotten some really good pitchers' duels. Aside from opening day when the Pirates mercy ruled Brushtown 11-0. Fountain misses 2 balls and no strikes. We've enjoyed bringing you Franklin County Tigers semi-pro football all spring long. The Tigers have advanced to the ACFA championship game. And we're still working out the details on where that game's going to be played and whether or not we'll be able to make the trip for some Franklin County Tigers football coverage. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. But we got baseball here today. Julich, the 3-0 pitch. That one misses high, and it's a 4-pitch walk, and New Oxford has the first 2 on here in the fourth inning, and this is a real rally going here for the Twins. Cashtown manager Eric Ketterman will head out to the hill here to have a word with his young hurler. Be interesting to see what New Oxford comes up with here as they're getting down to the bottom spots in the order here. The number 8 spot in the order will be up here, and maybe a sacrifice bunt situation for Messignac, who's having a word with his third base coach here down the line. And Jordan Arnold out here as well for New Oxford to talk things over as the Twins and Pirates both trying to figure out what they're going to do here. 2 on, nobody out to start the top of the fourth inning. So Cody Furman with a single. That's the second hit of the game for New Oxford. And then A.J. Bullock with the 5th walk for the Twins. Julich came in with more walks than Ks, 4 Ks and 6 walks. Now he's got 1 K and 5 walks in this ball game. Creeping in at the corners are the Pirates as Ketterman in on the grass, squaring to bunt and putting it down as Bullock. It's a good one. Julich has 1 play throw across to first with Sokol covering, and they nab Messignac by a step. But he does his job, a sacrifice bunt. It'll go 1-4 on the putout. And 2 in scoring position here now for the number 9 hitter in New Oxford's order, Andrew Worthen. Worthen walked his first time up. Any way you can get on here. That's what they're probably telling him from the dugout here. Swinging at the first pitch. This one is lofted to center field. King's got it. He's going to throw home. Oh my goodness, New Oxford has 2 runners at third base now. Now they're going to send someone home. Ketterman hesitates, throws home. Oh, it gets away from Dylan Ed, and the New Oxford Twins are going to come up with a run in an absolutely ugly and disjointed fashion. King did everything he was supposed to do as he caught that ball and threw into the cutoff man. But for some reason, the runner at second for New Oxford decided that he was going to take off for third, despite the fact that the runner at third was going to stay put. They end up getting in a rundown. The runner from third goes home. The hesitation from Ethan Ketterman throwing to the plate. Dylan Ed had to come up and get the wayward throw, and sliding in safely was Cody Furman And the New Oxford Twins take a 1-0 lead here in the 4th. So, no RBI on the play. It will be a fly out and then advancing on the throw as this one chopped to the right of the mound. Sokol grabs that one and flicks it to first base. The Pirates get out of the inning, but New Oxford gets 1 run. They do it on 1 hit, no errors. 1 man left. The Twins have the lead here on Thursday Night Baseball. Back in a moment with some more live baseball. Here at Fleaflicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
Fleaflicker Media is proud to partner with the Franklin County Tigers football team this spring to bring you all of their home games. If you'd like to be featured on Fleaflicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Fleaflicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page. New Oxford strikes first in the top of the 4th inning. They'll send a new pitcher to the mound here for the bottom of the 4th, as this is going to turn into somewhat of a bullpen day here for the Twins. As they send the lefty out there, that'll be number 10 for the Twins, who is not listed on the roster here. We'll try to figure this out for you here in a moment. So John Darnell going in on the hill for New Oxford. It'll be his 2nd appearance of the year, first out of the bullpen for him. 1 start, it was a loss. His ERA is at .467 after giving up 2 earned runs in 3 innings pitched. 2 hits, 4 Ks, 4 walks for the lefty. A little bit taller, a little bit more string beanish compared to Gillen. Probably a little bit of arms and legs kind of delivery coming at the guys here. A little bit of Josh Hader in that delivery. Not quite as whippy, not getting quite down as low at the release point, but the way he lifts that leg and comes to the belt, all of that reminds me of Josh Hader a little bit. So Darnell comes into the game, and he will face 3, 4, and 5, the heart of the Cashtown order. We've got scores from out of town. Biglerville still leading North Carroll 5-1. That's in the bottom of the 4th. Pat Armour leading the way with 2 RBI for the Sox. Biglerville had runners on 2nd and 3rd at last check. As here's the kick. Boy, he's bringing the heat here. That one just missed up high. Been a bit of a low zone here today. Hagerstown extending their lead to 4-0 over Frederick in the top of the 2nd inning. And that's your Battlefield Military Museum out-of-town scoreboard. Got baseball going on between Littlestown and Shippensburg, but no score reported from that one just yet. 2-0 the count to... This one is driven to center field. It's going to be caught by Andrew Worthen as Cameron Bailey puts that one in play hard. But it's a can of corn for the center fielder. So Bailey has played pepper with Worthen both times up in this ball game, and now it's Ethan Ketterman. Ketterman, who had a spinner to the right of the mound his last time up, and Hunter Gillen got it on the 2nd stab and threw on to first for the out. 1-0 the count to Ketterman, the first baseman for Cashtown today. Boy, I think he was swinging a table leg on that one, and the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Ketterman has 6 runs scored for the Pirates this year. He's been very effective at getting on base, just 2 hits for him on the season coming in, but 5 walks. This Cashtown team came in with 24 walks and just 28 strikeouts in 6 games to start the season. And that one, a little bit wayward, goes to the backstop, and the count now 3-1. And it's amazing how many times you see here at Cashtown Yards the Pirates give up a run in the top half, and they seem to respond in the bottom half. There's the kick and the throw from Darnell, the 3-1 pitch. Labeled in the bottom part of the zone, and the count runs full. Dylan Ed on deck. He'll bat in this inning regardless of what happens here with Ketterman, but he'd sure like some company on the field. Backs Ketterman off. He'll discard what he doesn't need, and in this case that's the bet as he takes ball 4. Dylan Ed making the slow walk to the plate here now. Ed struck out his first time up, looking for some redemption. If you remember that walk-off hit he had in the championship series, went through the 5.5 hole between short and third. He'd love a repeat of that here, as it's strike 1 from Darnell. Darnell would love a ground ball like that just a little bit to the right and into the glove of the shortstop, as they'd have a good chance to turn 2. The kick and the toss, that one misses outside. They're going to pick back. The throw at first, it gets away, as that one's going to go down the right field line, and Ketterman will move up to second base. And there goes that double play chance for the Pirates, as Furman flung that one, and it bounced at the feet of the first baseman and went through. And the Twins are pretty fortunate that that was only a 1-base error on that one. First error of the ball game for either team. Cashtown had a bit of a mental error in the field in the top half, but here's the pitch. That one misses down low. That's going to squirt away, and Ketterman will move up to third now. And there he is with less than 2 outs. We'll see if New Oxford brings the infield in. Looks like Huff in at first. And creeping in at third now is the third baseman over here, Cody Valentine. There's the pitch to Ed. That one misses in the dirt. Well, must have had a limited pitch count on Gillen here today. Either that or he worked early, because he was effective through 3 innings. Thought they might stick with him here, but if it's a guy that's on a lower pitch restriction or not used to throwing as many pitches, they'll not have him in the game for as long. As that one blown by Ed. John Darnell, runner at third with 1 out, trying to strand that guy. Looking for a big punch out here. Infield is in all the way across. This one thumped to right. That one's foul. Wow. Flirting with the line down there. I thought for all the world that was going to be a sac fly to the right fielder. That thing just kept spinning and tailing and ends up out of play. So we'll have the payoff pitch once again to Dylan Ed. Well, not a better time for him to get his first hit on the season, but he'll take his first RBI even if it doesn't come attached with a hit. Here's the pitch. That one misses down low. Ball 4, second walk of the inning for Cashtown. And it'll be Buccos on the corners once again. Had him on the corners last inning and didn't score. They've got him on the corners here again, as we're going to have a conference on the mound. Warming up in the bullpen over to our right is Jordan Arnold, who's been absolutely spectacular in 11 innings this year for New Oxford. Turning back the clock a little bit on his South Penn career this season. As you look at the conference on the mound here, just giving some words of encouragement to Darnell as Arnold gets loose down the right field line here. And you look at Arnold's numbers on the year, and you figure he'll pitch at some point in this game. 2 outings, both starts. He's pitched 11 innings without giving up an earned run, and his whip is a paltry .91. 9 hits, he's only walked 1. Doesn't strike many guys out, but you know what? He pitches to contact, and that's the exact game plan. Zach Coons is the batter now. Takes that one up and under the arms, moving him out of the way, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. So Ketterman walked with one out, and then Dylan Ed followed with a walk of his own. As that one misses up high, 2 balls and no strikes now the count. Here's the pitch. Misses up high, 3-0, and he's really worked himself into the soup here. Coons. We'll see if they give him the green light. My guess is no, but we'll see. 3-0 pitch. That one nips the zone, and it's now 3-1. And he'll certainly have the green light here on 3-1, despite the fact that Darnell's been a little bit all over the place to the last 2 hitters. RBI spot, chance to tie the game, and you're looking for something to drive here. The kick and the throw, this one in there as well, 3-2. And I've seen a number of Cashtown hitters get up 3-0 in the count and then take 2 strikes. They're driving the pitch counts up for New Oxford's pitchers, and the deeper they can get into that bullpen, the better they're going to feel about things. But there goes the runner from first, ground ball hit to short. There's going to be no play. Throw to first for the out. 6-3 on the putout as it's dug out of the dirt by Huff, but coming home to score is Ethan Ketterman, and we've got a tie ball game. As Ketterman comes home to roost for the Pirates. He gets some high fives and fist bumps, and so does Zach Coons, who drives in the run to tie the score. Well, that was all because they put the runner in motion here. That's possibly a double play ball. It's probably a double play ball if Dylan Ed wasn't in motion on that pitch. This misses outside to Carpenter. So for Coons, that'll be his first RBI of the season. And the game now tied at 1. Brock Carpenter, the batter, he grounded out to second his first time up. Takes a strike at the knees, and that's the blueprint for success in this game, it seems like today, for these pitchers. You want to hit the low spots in the zone, because the low strike is being called and the high strike is nowhere to be found. Here's the 1-1 pitch, as Carpenter going to spoil that one, but he now falls behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dylan Ed at second. It was his walk, and then going in motion on the 3-2 pitch that allowed Coons to get the RBI ground out. 1-2. Here's the delivery. This one hit on the ground to short again. That takes a high hop. Picking it up and throwing it across on the money is the shortstop, Miles Shearer. Cashtown gets 1. They even the score. But that's what they'll have to settle for. We head into the back half of this ball game, 1-1 on Thursday Night Baseball, here on Fleaflicker Media.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for New Oxford through 4 innings. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Cashtown as we start the top of the 5th inning with Aiden Julich still on the hill. Delivers ball 1 outside to Hunter Gillen. Gillen, who started the game on the mound for New Oxford and then was relieved and went into the field. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike to Gillen, who's played pepper with the second baseman Sokol twice. 1 ground out and 1 line out. The 1-1 pitch as he fires this one down the right side. A lot of hair on that one, but way foul. Unfortunately, nobody's sitting in lawn chairs down there as they usually do. Count goes to 1-2. Gillen makes an out in this at bat, and his average on the season will fall to .250. As here's the pitch. This one misses up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes now as the count is even. So glad you tuned in here, and so glad this has turned into such a classic game here after a couple of the earlier games we've broadcast this season. That one misses down low, and the count runs full. The payoff pitch coming from Julich, the lefty, still working for Cashtown. Swing and a miss as he gets Gillen for a 3rd time in this ball game. Second punch out for Julich. And he'll deal with the tall, lanky Derek Huff now, built like a first baseman. Also an effective pitcher. Batting in the number 3 spot, which is customarily reserved for a team's best hitter. At least that's the way it used to be done, as this one chopped hard on the ground. Oh my goodness! That one bounced up on the lip of the grass. And it had to be barehanded by the 3rd baseman, Zach Coons. And he actually looked like he was going to field it clean and have a chance to make the throw, but then it popped out of his hand on a very difficult play. And then he throws late to first base, and it gets past Ketterman, but hits the retaining wall. That'll be a single all the way, a bad hop single for Derek Huff as he joins the hit party today. And it's not really so much a party as it is a small gathering. 3 hits for the Twins, 1 hit for Cashtown here. Huff with his 6th hit of the season. But that one misses down low to Cody Valentine. No official at-bats for him today as he's walked twice. Valentine came in on the year 4 for 15. And he would still be 4 for 15 because his first 2 appearances ended in walks. Bell tips that one back to the screen. Be interesting to see who New Oxford goes with on the hill next inning, as we did see Jordan Arnold up in the bullpen, and he's normally a guy they use to sop up innings, but he's been effective this year. And we'll see. Not sure what the pitch count is for Julich, but he's walked 5 guys here in this ball game, and run a number of full counts, so he might be getting near the end of the line here for Cashtown, as that one misses high. Cashtown been short on pitching here the last couple of weeks here to open the seasons. They're missing some of their college players, and they've had some injuries. It's been Austin Kunkel and then pray for rain for Cashtown's pitching staff so far this year, as that one fouled off back to the screen. No rain here today, but Aiden Julich is raining down zeros on this New Oxford batting lineup. Well, it took a bad hop single to get New Oxford started here in the 5th inning. Derek Huff on at first with that bad hop single. Cody Valentine working a 2-2 count against Julich. There's the kick, the pitch. This one popped up on the right side. Ethan Ketterman racing for that one, as that is going to be trouble. It's down for a hit. Well, they thought they might have had a play at second as the throw comes in well behind Huff and fielded nicely there by Brock Carpenter to avoid a further error. When you throw back to the middle of the field, though, you usually have naturally built-in backup men because the 3rd baseman can back up, the left fielder can back up that play. And that'll be a bloop single, so 2 fortunate singles, we'll call them here for New Oxford to start the 5th. 1 out, the strikeout to Gillen. Squaring to bunt now. Julich has 1 play, it'll be to first as Matt Martin gives himself up. And you wonder what the thinking is there, because they have 1 out in the inning, and Martin, one of their more accomplished hitters, he is struggling to start this season, so that might be the thought there. Bunt him over, get 2 into scoring position, and if you can get Cody Furman, who got off a great swing in his last at-bat, to do that again, they'll get a pair of runs. Here's the kick from Julich and the toss. This one hit on the ground. That's going to be a diving stop from Carpenter. He has no play anywhere. He'll throw back to the bag at third. Now they do have the runner hung out between third and home. Ed, sweep tag, and he's got the man for the out. New Oxford scores 1 on the infield single, and then it'll go 6-5-2 on the putout to end the top of the 5th. New Oxford takes the lead, however. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th here on Fleaflicker Media. Don't touch that dial. Here at Fleaflicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
Fleaflicker Media is proud to partner with the Franklin County Tigers football team this spring to bring you all of their home games. If you'd like to be featured on Fleaflicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Fleaflicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page. Welcome back to South Penn Thursday Night Baseball. Here live from Cashtown. It's 2-1. The New Oxford Twins have the lead through 4.5, and we'll tell you how we got there. In the top of the 4th inning, New Oxford scratched out a run. Cody Furman led off with a single, then a walk to A.J. Bullock. Cameron Masiniak sacrificed both guys over. Andrew Worthen's fly out to center fielder Chase King didn't look like it was going to score anybody as Furman held at third, but Bullock took off for third from second, and it ended up being a rundown. And New Oxford squeezed out a run on the back end of it due to a little bit of a miscue there by the Pirates as Furman slid home with the game's first run. Cashtown equaled the score in the bottom half as Zach Coons with an RBI ground out to short with the runner at first, Dylan Ed, in motion, keeping them out of the double play. We'll have the rest of the scoring summary for you after this half inning, as it's Josh Topper leading things off for the Pirates against Darnell. That one catches the zone. That's been a spot for strikes all day. That's the strike superhighway, if you will, and pitchers should be throwing it to that spot throughout the evening, as that one goes to the backstop. Topper leads things off for the Pirates here in the 5th as they once again trail 2-1. New Oxford a little bit of a picket fence going here, run in the 4th, run in the 5th. Cashtown with 1 in the 4th as they start things here in the 5th now. Here's the kick, the throw. That one misses inside. As the count now goes to 2-2. Topper had the first hit of the game for Cashtown and then stole second base, but they left him out there back in the 3rd inning. As that one misses outside and the count now runs full. We got some shadows coming from the line of trees beyond the outfield wall here on the left. Cashtown Community Fire Department, Cashtown Yards. There's shadows creeping around the mound and about halfway towards the plate, so you wonder if they're affecting the hitters a little bit. It's making for a nice visual on the broadcast. As Topper spoils that one foul, and the count holds steady at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hope all of you back home are enjoying this one. I hope we're not having any problems bringing it to you back home, as We got some pretty good connectivity here today. That one called. Strike 3, and Darnell with his first punch out of the ball game. As he'll stalk around the back of the mound here as his teammates throw it around the horn. 1 down for Cashtown here in the bottom of the 5th. Travis Black now will be the batter for Cashtown as he's going to hit for Aiden Julich. Julich struck out in his only plate appearance in this one. Black will look to be a leadoff man. Not in the traditional sense as he's batting here with 1 out, but he's been a leadoff guy all the way going back to his high school days at Gettysburg. And this is basically a leadoff job right here. No balls, 2 strikes now to Black. The guy they affectionately called Blackie when he was a member of the Warriors in high school. Chopped on the ground to second. Oh, that one's going to be booted, and Martin has no play over at first. A little bit of a difficult one as that one was a high chopper, and then he had to come in, got a little bit of an in-between hop, and it spun away from him. Second error of the game for New Oxford, and it puts Travis Black on here with 1 out in the 5th. See how long Black stays moored to the bag over there as the lineup now turns over for Cashtown. As Wyatt Sokol comes to the plate. Here's the kick and the toss. Called a strike. Sokol grounded out to first base hard his first time as Derek Huff made a diving stab down the line in the first inning. And then Sokol walked with 2 outs in the 3rd. The 0-1 pitch nearly hit him. Nice job by Furman to hold on to that one, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Cashtown with just the 1 hit to this point, the hit by Topper. They scratched out their run in the bottom of the 4th inning with a couple of walks and some good small ball, good fundamental baseball. Darnell walked a couple in his first inning of work. Got a 2-1 count here to Sokol. He's got a pitch around the defensive miscue, and it looks like he hit him. As Sokol shaking that hand out, and that didn't look like fun. Umpire does signal him down to first base, and a lot of small breakable bones in the hand and the wrist area, and that's very frightening when you get one up around your hands, up around the knob of the bat. Lots of things can happen. You can pinch your finger on the bottom of the bat. I forget who I saw do that. I think it was Melvin Mora back in the 2002 season for the Baltimore Orioles. He was playing for the American League batting title in a lost season for the Orioles. And Greg Maddox threw a cutter inside that caught Mora on the hand, and I think he fractured his finger and ended up missing like 4 to 6 weeks. And he never recovered his spot in the batting race, even when he did come back. Chase King, the batter now, as they come in at the corners. King's gonna slash this one to left field. That one's down. Racing around third is Travis Black. He'll score without a throw, and the game is tied once again. The ball gets away a little bit at third, but no advance from either runner. As King with the RBI single to bring home Black. And 2s are wild.
Here we go. Keep it going now, buddy.
Cashtown now set up for a few more here as they'd like to have a big inning. You know they'd like to have a big inning. Cameron is going to send this one to center. Cameron Bailey, that one's going to be caught. Not far enough for any advance here as that one's thrown into third base and it gets away. Moving over to third is Sokol, and he's in just ahead of the dive from the third baseman who retrieved that one. What a play. This will be the 3rd error for New Oxford. 2 outs now, though, as they should be able to get on top of this situation. They just need to get 1 more out.
Come on, Ethan, clean it up, buddy.
So the run that scored to tie it is unearned because Black reached on an error. came up after that, and he reached, and then Chase King with the RBI single. As this one misses down low, and the dust from that play at third just billowing over the home plate area right now, and up into the press box and everywhere. It's like a little mini sandstorm going on out there. 1 ball and no strikes now to Ethan Ketterman. That one catches the zone. This is shaping up to be a very strange ball game so far here today. A good one, a tight ball game, but got some odd things happening here as this one winds on into the mid-evening hours. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Ketterman. Love to do some damage here. Here's the kick from Darnell. Catches the zone 2-2, and then Ketterman will go for a walk to regain his thoughts. Runners at the corners. It's Chase King at first. It's Wyatt Sokol at third. There goes King. No throw as he's in standing. They were holding him on, so that, I believe, will officially go down as a stolen base for King. Not fielder's indifference, although, well, I'm not sure if they were holding him on. The first baseman, Huff, hasn't really moved all that much over there. As that one misses down low, and the bases are now loaded for Dylan Ed. Ed will discard his catching shin guards here in the on-deck circle, as with 2 outs, he's keeping himself prepared just in case the last out of the inning is made. He'll come to the dish now, but he'll take a moment here and step off as we're going to have another trip to the mound and maybe a pitching change here for New Oxford, perhaps. It looks like Jordan Arnold has a glove, and he's coming out of the dugout onto the field. It looks like the player manager for New Oxford is going to call his own number here in the biggest spot of this ball game here so far this evening. So Darnell departs. He's responsible for the runners on first and second. Can't be charged with any more earned runs in this one. But he can still be charged with the loss if things fall wrong for him here in this 5th inning. Arnold to the hill. And we'll tell you a little bit about him as we looked at his stats here earlier on in the day. For Arnold, it's been 2 appearances, both starts. He's 1-1 on the season. 11 innings pitched, no earned runs. His whip is .91. 9 hits, 1 walk. 4 Ks. He's given up 3 runs. They're all unearned, so maybe that's a little bit of a bad omen for the New Oxford defense here, because any runs that score here would be unearned, although they would be charged to the line of John Darnell. Arnold, a pro's pro out there, as he's been playing in the South Penn League for a long time. He started with the Brushtown Bulldogs, playing with his brother back in the mid-2000s. Was a reserve player that came off the bench a lot for a couple of championship teams there for Brushtown. Brushtown didn't have any room for him after a while, so he ended up coming on over to New Oxford for the 2008 season and ended up being a big part of a couple of runs to the South Penn finals from lower seeds in the bracket. New Oxford Twins had the best website in the South Penn League going there for a while, updated daily with all kinds of stuff and polls and information on the players and the stats and everything, and they had favorite memories as a Twin for all the players on their active roster at one time. And Jordan Arnold's, he said his was going to the South Penn League finals with a losing record one year. So Arnold, bit of a soft tosser at this point in his career, pitched a contact guy. He'll go after Dylan Ed here in a great showdown with the game tied at 2 in the 5th. Flips that one over for strike 1. Ed has not put the ball in play yet here today. Struck out his first time, walked his second time up. Here's the kick and the toss. A bender, and that goes inside. It's 2-0. That was kind of like an eephus pitch from Arnold. I wonder if that was in the 50s in miles per hour. Maybe the 40s. Here's the heater. It's chopped us short. Throwing across the diamond to first for the out is Miles Shearer. Cashtown strikes for 1. We're all tied. Tied up once again here on Fleaflicker Media. We'll head to the 6th. Stay with us for a while here on Thursday Night Baseball.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Back here at the ballpark in Cashtown as we start the top of the 6th inning. New pitcher on the hill for the Pirates here, as Aiden Julich is done after 5 innings. Take a look and figure out who this is here for Cashtown, as that's going to be number 15, Chris Boone, on the hill. It's the first time we've seen him pitch. He's pitched in 1 outing this year. It was a start. Did not get the decision. 4 innings pitched, 350 earned run average as he gave up 2 earned runs on 5 hits. 1 strikeout, 3 walks. His whip was at 2. And he'll pick up the fight here in the top of the 6th. Number 7 hitter in the order for New Oxford is Bullock, as he leads things off. New Oxford out hitting at Cashtown at 3-2. 4-2, excuse me, here. But all tied where it counts. That one misses high. 2 balls and no strikes to Boone. So the line done on Julich, 5 innings, just the 4 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out a pair, and walked 5 guys. That ultimately ended up being his undoing in terms of not seeing the 6th inning in this one, but 5 quality innings from him. 5 innings of 2 runs or less in the South Penn League. That's got to classify as a quality start. 2-1, the pitch from Boone, and that one misses outside. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. As both of these teams struggling for pitching depth here as we get deeper into the bullpens here. As Boone brings the 3-1 pitch and nearly drilled Bullock with that one, and it's a walk. So Julich waned a little bit the last couple of innings, giving up a run in the 4th and a run in the 5th. The scoring summary for New Oxford: they took the lead in the top of the 5th on a bad hop single by Derek Huff with 1 out. Cody Valentine also singled. Matt Martin bunted him over, and then Cody Furman with an infield single to drive home the go-ahead run. And then Valentine was thrown out at the plate in a rundown. This one hit on the ground by Martin softly. They probably have just 1 play, as it's Wyatt Sokol grabbing that one and scooping it onto first base for out number 1. And Boone has his first out here in the ball game today. Dylan Ed out to the mound for a word with his pitcher. Good time to do a look around the scoreboard. The Battlefield Military Museum out-of-town scoreboard. Littlestown leads the Mason-Dixon Rebels 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning from North Carroll. The North Carroll Panthers on the road today. They're losing 12-1 at Biglerville in the top of the 5th. Mercy rule potentially at play there if they don't score a couple of runs. That one called a strike to Andrew Worthen. number 9 hitter in the order, and then they'll turn the lineup over for Miles Shearer. That one bounces in the dirt. Kept in front of Ed to keep the runner at second. We also have Hagerstown still listed as 4-0 over Frederick in the second. That one's listed as being in a delay, but it could be as simple as somebody fell asleep at the controls on the Game Changer app at that one, as that one misses high and in. So Biglerville well on their way to their 7th win. Littlestown looking at their 10th win potentially if they can close that one out. Cashtown looking for their 4th, and New Oxford looking for their 3rd. As here's the kick and the toss. That one misses down low, and Bullock holds once again as Dylan Ed like a Hoover there behind the plate, sucking everything up. Runner at second, 1 out. Chris Boone is the pitcher here for Cashtown. In relief of Aiden Julich, who went 5 strong. Here's the kick and the toss. Misses inside, it's ball 4. New Oxford has the first 2 on here in the 6th. They had 2 on in the 5th. They had the first 2 on in the 4th. Unfortunately for New Oxford, Cody Furman quite a few spots away. He has scored 1 run and driven in the other one for New Oxford here today. They'll try to get it done with some of the other parts of their lineup, as Miles Shearer strides to the dish. He led off the game with a single for New Oxford, and he takes ball 1 high. Shearer is 1 for 3 on the ball game. His last at bat was a ground out to second base. Boone with the kick and the toss. Backs him off, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. And if you're Cashtown, you certainly want to make them earn it here. If they're going to take the lead here, you don't want to gift them some base runners here. You want to make them hit their way on. 2 walks starting things off. 2-0 now the count. This one hit on the ground. Boone lays out for it. Doesn't have it. Sokol to short. Throw on to first. And they beat it out on the back end, does Shearer. The throw from the shortstop for Cashtown, Carpenter, who went back into the game. Excuse me, he always stayed in the game. Julich was the one who was hit for last inning. So 4-6 on the putout. And there'll be Twins on the corners now. Bullock over at third. And over at first base is Miles Shearer. Chris Boone will have to deal with Hunter Gillen, who's got to be quite frustrated with an 0 for 3 today. He hit the ball hard his second time up, but nothing to show for it. Boone with the kick to delivery, misses high to Gillen. Gillen, who started on the hill, gave the Twins 3 scoreless innings before giving way to John Darnell in the 4th. That one called a strike. Now he knows what it looks like, and he'll be ready to go here on the 1-1 pitch. Shearer still at first base. Wonder how long before he gets moving here. He's got a sizable lead. There he goes. Ball inside. Dylan Ed up and throwing. It's late to second. Bullock holding steady at third. New Oxford did not have a play on there to try and sneak a run out on the back end of the play. They already have one like that in this game on a fly out to the outfield. That one came by accident. 2 in scoring position now, and a 2-1 count to the batter, Hunter Gillen. Gillen hitting .250 on the season now. 6 hits for him coming into today. Strike 2, and the count even 2-2. He doesn't believe it. Might have been a touch outside. Do have to worry here about night falls. There's no lights here at Cashtown's ballpark. Getting a little dark out there. These teams want to get this game finished up, get an official game in. Here's the kick and the toss from Boone as that one misses down low, and the count now full to Gillen. Full count, 2 outs, 2-1. As New Oxford looks to break through once again. They've scored 1 in each of the last 2 innings. They're They're looking for a crooked number here, but they'll take another one. They'll take one, because it would put them in front. Boone with his biggest pitch of the game to this point. Gillen with the biggest pitch that he's going to see. Here's the toss. Gillen fights this one off to the right side. Ketterman stumbling back after it. That's going to fall in there. One run is in. Here comes a second runner to the plate. 2 score for New Oxford on a bloop single by Hunter Gillen. A little duck snort to the right side, and Ketterman trying to get under that one, but it gets past him. A tough play for the first baseman. The only hope was for the second baseman, Sokol, to come over and make a diving stab at it, and it just wasn't to be, as New Oxford scores 2 on the bloop hit. The Twins take the lead once again. 3rd time they've been in front here today. And now Derek Huff at the plate. There goes the runner, and Huff fouls it off. Ed was up and ready to throw, but never got the ball. So the 2 runs that score were both guys that... My apologies, folks. We had a little bit of a interruption right there in the stream, as for some reason the stream cut out for a moment. We got 5 bars here. We got good connection, as we almost always do in Cashtown. So, really hope you're able to enjoy this game back home. Count 1 ball and 1 strike now to Derek Huff. Gillen not in motion here in this one. Huff is going to loft this one down the left field line. That's going to be foul. Heck of an effort over there as Cameron Bailey raced after that one. Not quite able to flag it down in the field of play. Chris Boone looking to get one more out here and get Cashtown back to the bat rack. Bottom of the 6th might be their last chance due to the sun going down here. We'll see. To the utmost importance they get this last out here. Strike 3. Boone will hustle off the mound as he gets the final out of the inning. Cashtown's got some work to do. They've got to hustle as they're fighting Mother Nature and the New Oxford Twins. 4-2 as the Twins strike for 2. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th here on Fleaflicker Media. Here at Fleaflicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
Fleaflicker Media is proud to partner with the Franklin County Tigers football team this spring to bring you all of their home games. If you'd like to be featured on Fleaflicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Fleaflicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page. Back here at Cashtown Yards as we prepare for the bottom of the 6th inning, Jordan Arnold will continue on the hill for New Oxford. And he's going to face the bottom of 3rd. No, wait a second here. He's going to face... Yeah, the bottom 3rd. It's, 6, 7, and 8. It's Zach Coons. Then it's Carpenter. And then Josh Topper. So the book closed on Jonathan Darnell. He pitches an inning and 2/3 as he gives up 2 runs. One of them earned as he gave up just 1 hit, walked 4 guys, and struck out 1, and his brief time was undone a little bit by an error in the field behind him that allowed Cashtown to score a run last inning. Nonetheless, the Twins surged back ahead in the top of the 6th, and Arnold will look to protect it in what may be the last half inning of play here today, as Coons is going to bounce that one to 3rd. Up with it and throwing across to 1st for the out is the 3rd baseman, Cody Valentine. And 1 pitch, 1 out. In Cashtown, the memo is probably to be aggressive here. You don't want to waste any moments here with the sun starting to go down, but it's always deflating to make a 1 pitch out. So 1 up, 1 down for Arnold. And he's the kind of pitcher that's difficult to face in a situation like this where you're trying to swing early and often because he throws a lot of slow stuff, changes speeds, different spins and stuff, and it's hard to square him up. Carpenter, the batter now, 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. 2-0 from Jordan Arnold, as neither of those pitches quite reached the home plate area. Through 6 innings, New Oxford has 4 runs. They've done that on 5 hits and committed 3 errors. Cashtown has committed just the 1 error, but they have only 2 hits as well, leading to their 2 runs. Carpenter fouls this one off. Carpenter still looking for his first hit of the season. He's 0 for 9 on the year. Be a heck of a time for him to be a rally starter. That one misses just high, and well, looks as good as a hit here as if you're Cashtown. Got a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle, looks like, is Andrew Wolf, the lefty, taking his swings. That one misses high to Carpenter. The count must have been 2-2 because it's now 3-2, full count. Here's the kick, the toss. Strike 3 called, and Carpenter set down on strikes for the first time here today. First strikeout for Jordan Arnold, and 2 away here in the 6th. We'll get a look now at Andrew Wolf for the first time today, the first time ever for us as a Cashtown Pirate. He's 2 for 7 on the year, a double and a run scored.
Wolf for Topper.
As Josh Topper will head to the bench. A tough one for him as he has one of the 2 Cashtown hits today, but they want the left on right matchup here with Arnold. Perhaps want to take away some of his secondary pitches that he throws that might spin into a left-handed batter as opposed to away from a righty. The 1-0 pitch. Ball 2, and it's 2-0. Number 9 spot in the order is up next for Cashtown. That was the spot occupied by Julich. They pinch hit for that spot last inning. Looks like Zach Williams, perhaps, is in the on-deck circle here, as Wolf is going to spin this one to short. Throw across the diamond, and they get him. So Jordan Arnold continues his scoreless streak. We'll head to the 7th with New Oxford, leading Cashtown 4-2 here on Fleaflicker Media.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Back here for the top of the 7th, Chris Boone will continue on the hill for Cashtown. So he gave up the 2 in the top of the 6th. He'll look to hold the Twins right where they are and give the top of the Cashtown order something to play for in their last hacks of the day. As we head to the rest of our scoring summary here, Cashtown trailed 2-1 going into the bottom of the 5th inning, and they evened it on Josh Topper struck out to start the inning. Travis Black batted and reached on an error by the second baseman. Then a walk to Wyatt Sokol and an RBI single by Chase King tied the game. Cameron Bailey flew out to end the threat. So then New Oxford in the top of the 6th inning struck for a pair, as A.J. Bullock led off with a walk. With 1 out, Andrew Worthen walked as well. Miles Shearer grounded into a force out, and then Hunter Gillen drove 2 guys in with an RBI single. A blooper to the right side that barely left the infield, but was just perfectly placed. Boone with the first pitch here in the bottom of the 7th, as that one misses. And it's 1 ball and no strikes to Cody Valentine. This one popped up foul. New Oxford got a pair of runs in on that blooper. The second run that they were able to score, Shearer hustling around from second while the fielders were diving for the ball. That was a big hustle play. We'll see how big that extra run is. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Valentine. Valentine's been on all 3 times today. 2 walks and a single, but not part of the run scoring at all. No runs batted in or runs scored. He was thrown out at the plate back in the 5th inning. That one misses high, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Now, if you're New Oxford, you're not the worst thing in the world to be patient and have some good long at-bats here to start the 7th. You want your at-bats to count, but you want this game to be official. As this one called a strike, and the count runs full. Some light tossing going on behind the New Oxford dugout. As this one fouled off into the screen, it looks like A.J. Bullock is throwing. He's pitched once in relief this year, 2 innings pitched. Walked a pair of guys, no hits allowed, and struck out 4, so that's the line of a guy you would presume to be a closer, so he may very well be getting up for the bottom half of the 7th. For Cashtown, it'll be 9, 1, and 2 in the bottom of the 7th. They had a pinch hitter on deck for Travis Black. That was Zach Williams. As this one sent skyward a mile high. Wyatt Sokol camps out underneath it in short right field and has the catch for the out. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th, and Jordan Arnold will lumber to the plate here. He's in Matt Martin's spot in the lineup, as he stands there waggling the bat over his head, jumps back from that one. 1 ball and no strikes. For Arnold, this is his first plate appearance of the season. As the player manager, he's mostly been relegated to pitching over these last few years, but used to be a very accomplished hitter in the South Penn League. Number of times finishing among the league leaders in home runs. Here's the kick and the throw from Boone. Boy, and Arnold's maybe wishing he didn't decide to put himself in the batting order here for this one, as he gets a close shave on that one. Here's the kick, the toss. And that one's over for a strike. Jordan Arnold looking to get something going here. But if nothing else, the Twins are making Boone work and making time elapse here in the top of the 7th, as that one misses inside ball 4, and Arnold will head down to first with a walk. That makes his on-base percentage this season 1,000. He's leading the league. Looks like they're going to run for Arnold, and that probably seals it that we'll see Bullock in the bottom of the 7th. Is running for New Oxford is number 12, Amari Bullock. And it's A.J. Bullock that was up in the pen earlier. Bullock with his lead from first. At the plate is Cody Furman, who's been the player of the game so far for New Oxford, as he chops this one. That's going to be an infield single. No one's at third, but no advancement, as that ball didn't kick far enough away for Bullock to move up. And that'll be a single all the way, perfectly placed by Furman right there, and would have been a tough throw across the diamond there. So Furman 3 hits now on the day. An RBI and a run scored, and he's certainly hoping to add to that run scored total here.
Roll up the middle.
6 hits for New Oxford. Half of them belong to Cody Furman in his return to Cashtown here today. And now it'll be A.J. Bullock at the plate. The pitch, this one thumped to the right side. That one's over the head of Ketterman. Racing to third is Bullock. He's going to head home. The ball is cut off by the catcher, heading toward the backstop. That's Ed racing down to get it, and Bullock in to score. Over to third is Cody Furman, and New Oxford stretches the lead to 5-2. We're set up for another runner at third here with less than 2 outs. As Eric Ketterman going to head out to the mound here, and that may be all for Boone. As he's bringing Zach Williams with him. So Williams will come on to try and close things out here in the 7th and prevent any further damage for New Oxford. So the RBI hit for A.J. Bullock, scoring his brother Amari Bullock, who ran for Jordan Arnold. Furman's at third. That was the 7th hit of the game. So Boone will be responsible for these 2 runners on base, as in an inning and a third. So far, he's given up 3 runs, all earned. 3 hits, 3 walks. So 6 base runners. He's gotten 4 guys out. And he'll take a seat on the bench now and watch as Zach Williams tries to prevent any further damage to his line. Williams making his 2nd pitching appearance of the season. His other outing was a relief appearance. He ate up 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. 2 strikeouts and no walks. His earned run average is 7, which is a run per inning in the 7-inning South Penn League. Williams will face number 8 spot in the order, Cameron Masiniak, as he's 0 for 1. Walked, sacrificed bunt, and a ground out to second base for the left fielder for New Oxford, who has now moved to second base in the later innings of this ball game. Runners on the corners. We'll see how long A.J. Bullock stays at first. Potentially the presumable closer for the Twins when they tee things up in the bottom of the 7th, trying to lock this victory down. Work to be done here for the Twins as they'd like to add to it. Williams, his first pitch. There goes Bullock. Ed out of the chute, throwing down. It hits off the runner, backed up nicely by Carpenter, and that'll keep Cody Furman at third. Just very bold throwing through for Cashtown, as they haven't hesitated. Ed hasn't hesitated to throw through on 1st and 3rd situations. They got off a really good one there, but just not to be for nabbing the runner. That one misses. 2 balls and no strikes now to Masiniak. Masiniak looking for his 2nd and 3rd runs batted in of the season. Here's Williams, the kick and the toss, swing and a miss, and it's 2 balls and 1 strikes now to New Oxford's left fielder. George Marinos bringing you all the live action here of South Penn Baseball on Fleaflicker Media. We're so glad you've tuned in for us for another run here on Thursday night, as this one misses down low. Masiniak working a good count here. Be a good time for his first hit of the year. Here's the pitch. That one misses. It's ball 4, and the bases are going to be packed with Twins as Masiniak heads down to first. 1 out for New Oxford here as Cody Valentine popped out to second base to start the inning off. The infield was in for Cashtown during that at-bat from Masiniak. We'll see if they stay in, maybe if they pinch in at the corners and stay back and double play depth in the middle, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. Anything that dribbles through the infield here could do some serious damage, as it's Andrew Worthen looking for his first hit of the day, 0 for 2 with a walk. Or 0 for 1, with 2 walks and an F8. That one called a strike. Worthen on the season doesn't have an RBI yet. If he can put one in motion here, he might get more than he bargained for, as that one misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Does have a couple of hits on the season. He's played a good center field for New Oxford today. Did have the 1 throwing error, but it didn't really amount to anything, as he's done a nice job tracking some fly balls that have been hit his way throughout this one. Here's the pitch down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Base is full of Twins. Over at third, it's Cody Furman. At second, it's AJ Bullock. And at first, it's Cameron Masignac. Andrew Worthen looking to help New Oxford break this one open. The kick and the throw from Williams. This one popped foul. So the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. This has turned into a very long top of the 7th inning here. In between innings, we'll try to get some out-of-town scores for you, and last look at the Battlefield Military Museum out-of-town scoreboard. Here's the kick from Williams. This one hit hard to short. Could be a double play. Carpenter over to Sokol, over to Ketterman, and they turn it. Rack 'em up. New Oxford strikes for one more. They'll take a 5-2 lead into the bottom of the 7th here on Fleaflicker Media. We'll be back with last licks. Don't touch that dial.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Back here at the ballpark, we've got multiple defensive subs for New Oxford. Masignac's going to go back to left field where he started the game. He came into second base, and he's behind the telephone pole there. Trust us, he's there. Coming in at second is Amari Bullock. And his brother will go in on the mound, AJ Bullock. As his statistics tell the story of a guy who's cut out to be a closer, we'll see if he's got the stuff to match here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll face the number 9 spot in the Cashtown order to start things off. That'll be Zach Williams, the current pitcher for Cashtown. Then back to the top with Wyatt Sokol and Chase King. And it's now or never for the Pirates. Last inning, last 3 outs to work with, and the sun is starting to go down, so the time is now. For Bullock on the hill, as we mentioned, 1 appearance for him, pitched 2 innings, no earned runs, no hits, walked a pair. Those are the only base runners he gave up, and he struck out 4 guys. As Zach Williams strides to the box here, Williams 0 for 2 on the season. He'll look to open his hit account here. We'll see if the old rule applies here, though. If you're not the tying run, you take the first strike. We'll see if that applies. South Penn League, still a throwback league to the professional baseball days of old. You see a lot of the sacrificing and moving runners up and small ball and things like that. As buckle in, we're ready to go here for the bottom of the 7th. New Oxford 5 and Cashtown 2. Here's Bullock's first offering. It's a dart that apparently just misses on the outside corner, 1 ball and no strikes. And that's the quickest way to add gasoline to a rally. Williams swinging at the first strike he sees, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, when you got a guy on the hill that struck out four guys in 2 innings pitched on the season, you may not get too many good strikes to look at, so that might be the philosophy there while you're attacking early. 1-1 the count. Bullock, the twist, the delivery. That misses. No, it's called a strike, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Williams, as the low strike has been there from the very get-go today.
That's okay. He looks great.
Bullock looking to put him away now. Swinging a foul tip, that one to the backstop, and he'll stay alive for another pitch.
I know.
We'll be in Littlestown next Thursday night for a rematch between the Littlestown Dodgers and the Cashtown Pirates, as it's a swing and a miss for Williams, and Bullock punches out the first man he faces emphatically. 1 away, and the closer for New Oxford closing in on the first Twins save of the year. If the Twins hold on to this one, they'd move to 3-5. They'd be a half game back of Cashtown in the standings. And all of a sudden, Cashtown will be thrust into that battle for the 8th spot. Right now, we've got a ferocious battle waging for the 8th spot in the playoffs. Shippensburg came into the day holding the 8th spot, but New Oxford would move up into the top 8 with their win here. Wyatt Sokol with a count of now 1 ball and 1 strike. Sokol 0 for 1. He's walked twice in this ball game. Cashtown with just the 2 hits. Looking to get on any way they can here, as that one misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike from Bullock. I believe we've seen Bullock close a game out before. I think we had him pick up a save up in Littlestown, perhaps a couple years ago on one of our broadcasts. It's a swing and a miss by Sokol, and the count goes to 2-2. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a difficult road to hoe for Cashtown if they don't get this guy on here, but the next matchup between Chase King and Bullock, that's going to be a treat to watch here. An excellent hitter versus a high-octane bullpen arm. Count full now to Sokol. Huge pitch in this game. This one is chopped on the ground to first base. That's going to go foul. Scooped up for good measure over there by Derek Huff. And he'll toss it back to his pitcher. We made it to the 7th inning here today, so that's always a plus. As our Zoom feature has frozen up for a moment here. This one chopped foul by Sokol, and he fields it with his hand. That ball may have ended up fair if he didn't reach out and grab it. I think it was going foul, but you never know with the spins on these balls. Three balls, 2 strikes, the count to Sokol. This is his first game of the year for Cashtown. Bullock looking for his first save of the year for New Oxford. The pitch, this one is thumped to short. Waiting on it and throwing across to first. Oh my goodness, and pulling him off the bag is the shortstop Miles Shearer, as Huff had to leap a little bit to grab that one. He just rose off the ground ever so slightly. And a throwing error opens the door for Cashtown here, bottom 7. So Chase King now will come to the plate. And this will be a fantastic matchup right here. It's a shame that he's not the tying run, but he can certainly further the Cashtown comeback cause with a good at-bat here. Here's the pitch to King. Holds the bat back and takes that one in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Lots of walks in this ball game today for both teams. Cashtown has walked, it looks like 5 times. Stepping off is Bullock. A little awkward there on the step off. But not called for a balk. The slide step to the plate, and it's strike number 1. Didn't really notice if he was using a slide step normally, since he's a guy used to coming in relief. A lot of relief pitchers normally use a slide step, but he certainly is now with the guy on base. And as King swings and misses, you want to keep the double play in order, but I don't think holding that runner is worth jacking up your wind-up over, as that one misses in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes, but Bullock appears none the worse for wear here, going with the slide step, as he's got King on the precipice of a punch-out. The lead from first by Sokol. Here's the toss. Ball just inside. An eagle eye there from King as that one misses. Off the inside corner, and the count now full.
Come on, King.
No reason to send the runner here, I don't think. As he stays put, King is going to drive this one to center. That one's going to dunk down in front of Worthen, and Cashtown has 2 on here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 on with just 1 out, and the tying run will come to the batter's box in the form of Cameron Bailey. Bailey, right man, right spot for the Pirates. He does have a home run on the year. Of course, the worst thing you can do as a hitter is try to hit a home run. You want to just have a good at-bat here and keep the line moving. Here's the kick, the toss. That one called a ball, and all of a sudden Bullock has lost his grip on the strike zone here. Just the 3rd hit of the game for Cashtown. King has 2 of them. Swing and a miss. Looked like he fooled him with something else on that one, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Bailey, 3 flyouts to center fielder Worthen in this one. Swing and a miss, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Pirates have really battled back here in the 7th, fighting to the last out. And you expect nothing less from a team that's won 5 of the last 6 championships. Swing and a miss, and out number 2 as Bullock gets his 2nd punch out of the game. 1 out away are the New Oxford Twins from storming into Cashtown here and picking up an impressive victory. Bullock will have to go through Ethan Ketterman, as that one misses. 1 ball and no strikes. After Ketterman, it's Dylan Ed. Just looking to stay back on a ball here and drive it to the opposite field. That one called a strike to Ketterman. Wasn't particularly fond of the call. 2 outs here in the last of the 7th. 2 on. Bullock with the toss. Misses down low. Sokol was halfway between 2nd and 3rd for a moment, but he heads back. And now Furman will head out to the mound to talk things over with Bullock. There might have been a cross-up on that last pitch. Perhaps. Both parties are smiling a little bit, so maybe he's just distracting his pitcher with a good old-fashioned middle-of-the-inning joke. Sometimes the best thing you can do when you go to the mound is tell him something funny completely unrelated to the game. Ketterman trying to keep the game going for Cashtown. Bullock trying to end it. Here's the pitch. Ketterman drives this one to left field. It's going back. It's going to be caught by Masignac, and the New Oxford Twins are going to win this one here today, 5-2 over the Cashtown Pirates. A good tight little ball game here today. New Oxford with 3 in the top, or with 2 in the top of the 6th and 1 in the top of the 7th to prove the difference in this one here today. The teams are going to go through the handshake lines, and we'll remind you that we're going to be with you next Thursday night. We'll have these very same Cashtown Pirates in Littlestown as the Pirates try to right the ship, all of a sudden having lost 4 games in a row. The New Oxford Twins all of a sudden somewhat hot as they've won 2 in a row after a 1-5 start. All smiles for the green-clad visitors here today. We'll take a commercial break. We'll be back here with you in a moment with a recap of this game today. Don't touch that dial. Here at Fleaflicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
Fleaflicker Media is proud to partner with the Franklin County Tigers football team this spring to bring you all of their home games. If you'd like to be featured on Fleaflicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Fleaflicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page. Welcome back to the ballpark. Once again, the final score of today's game, the New Oxford Twins winning over the Cashtown Pirates 5-2. Time of game was a little over 2 hours and 15 minutes, as we got started a little late on the show. For New Oxford, 5 runs. They do it on 8 hits while committing 4 errors. Cashtown with 2 runs on 3 hits, and they committed just 1 fielding error. The winning pitcher, well, that'll be Jordan Arnold, and he moves to 2-1 on the season. He's New Oxford's version of an old rubber arm. And on the other side, the loss, well, that'll go to the first man out of the bullpen, Chris Boone, for Cashtown. He's 0-1 now on the year. The save goes to A.J. Bullock, his first of the contest and first for the Twins this season. We've got to name a player of the game, and it's going to be the former Cashtown Pirate Cody Furman, who came up with 3 hits today for the Twins. Scored a run, drove 1 in. And a big part of the offense for the Twins here today. Just showing what he can do with a little bit of playing time. Take you through the scoring summary here before we go. This game was scoreless into the 5th inning when New Oxford struck for 1. Furman led off with a single, a walk to A.J. Bullock. Cameron Massignac sacrificed both guys over. And then on a flyout by Andrew Worthen, a base-running snafu by the Twins ended in Cody Furman coming home to score on the back end of a rundown. They got lucky to not make an out on that play, but they brought home the game's first run. Cashtown tied it in the bottom half. Ethan Ketterman walked. Dylan Ed walked as well. The runners ended up at first and third. Ed took off for second base with 1 out. The ball was put in play. He stayed out of the double play as Zach Coons got a 6-3 RBI ground out on the play to tie the game at 1. New Oxford with a far more emphatic run the next time up as Derek Huff had a 1-out single. Cody Valentine singled as well. They had runners at second and third after a bunt by Matt Martin. Furman with an infield single. If it went to the outfield, it probably scores 2. It only scores 1. And Valentine cut down at the plate, trying to score the second run. New Oxford led 2-1. Cashtown ties it in the bottom half of the inning as they scored once again. Travis Black reached on a 1-out error. Wyatt Sokol walked, and Chase King ripped an RBI single to tie the game. New Oxford got 2 in the top of the 6th off of Chris Boone, the new reliever, as that rally ended with Hunter Gillen ripping a 2-run single, and for the second straight game for the Twins, Gillen with the game-winning RBI. Twins put another run on the board as Jordan Arnold walked and was pinch run for by Amari Bullock. He came around to score in the top of the 7th inning to make it 5-2. So again, 5 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors for New Oxford, 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Cashtown. And we're so pleased that all of you tuned in with us here on the show. We hope you had as much fun watching this broadcast as we did bringing it to you. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back on the other side of this to wrap up and give you some out-of-town scores. We'll be right back on Fleaflicker Media, Thursday Night Baseball.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Alright, now when you take a look at the Battlefield Military Museum out-of-town scoreboard, it looks like it's a final from Biglerville, although that game is still in the score sheet as the top of the 5th inning in the Game Changer app. It's 12-1 Biglerville over North Carroll. I think that game is final, and I think that was the final score of that one. Littlestown pulls away with an 8-1 victory at the Mason-Dixon Rebels. They go to 10-1 on the season. And Hagerstown still looks like they're up 4-0 over Frederick in the bottom of the 2nd. There hasn't been an update on that one in a while. So, we'll be with you once again next Thursday night as these same Cashtown Pirates look to rebound and make up for a doubleheader sweep at the hand of the Dodgers. They'll be facing those Dodgers again for the first time in Littlestown. Our first look at the team that's got the most wins in the South Penn League right now. We'll be coming to you live next Thursday at 6 p.m. from Memorial Field in Littlestown. So, had about everything you can ask for in a ball game here today, except for maybe a home run, but good close finish, getting the tying run on base in the last inning. The final score, New Oxford 5 and Cashtown 2. Thank you everyone for tuning in, for everyone in the truck, everyone that helps out with these broadcasts on a nightly basis. This is George Marinos, signing off for Fleaflicker Media. Have a good evening, everybody.